Alright, all you video gamers, welcome to yet another inline airborne Viva Los Gravity edition of the DJ Smokey's True Video Game Stories. And with a title like that, we decided to go with a game none other than 2Xtreme. And according to the maestro, we've mentioned this before as a video game story, but trust me, the story we have up, yeah, let's just say that gravity wasn't a friend of mine during it, and was something that had to be mentioned on the show. And I guess with that said, I think it's time for us to get ready, lace up our inline skates, and take things to the extreme once again, as we get ready to paint the picture. Alright, this video game story began approximately well over 20 years ago. My god, I'm getting old. Where I decided to play this game by myself one lone day after not playing it for well over 5 months after the previous video game story we told you many moons ago. And while I was playing this game, I was trying to figure out whatever sort of cool secret or trick that I could do, and would just run through all of the old levels once again, including going back to Tokyo on the snowboard to try to see if I could do anything cooler than I once did, only for me to get 9th place trying to do a whole bunch of tricks that I didn't know how to pull off. Then I would go right back to the world of Los Angeles with the skateboards, and that would end badly with me hitting a cop car out of mid-flight. And then I would even head on over to Africa to try to test my luck over there, only for me to hit an elephant for the elephant to get mad that he got hit. But all of that, folks, would be a precursor and just a tip of the iceberg of the insanity that I would experience during this game once I made my way to Las Vegas. Now, for those who never played this game before and never truly experienced it, whenever you go to Las Vegas in this game, not only you had to deal with pedestrians, tires, street lights, poles, and all that stuff, but there's a little lip on the street in the first level of Las Vegas that if you jump up it, or if you go a certain speed, you will fly through the air like a goose. And a prime example of me flying through the air like a goose while this was on is while I was making my way through the world of Las Vegas, listening to the music, and just trying to maintain my lead over all the other competitors that were behind me, I made my way to that little lip on the street right next to the Vegas Strip, and next thing I know, the guy started flapping his arms like a bird through the air and kept going left and right in mid-flight, landing on the ground, and then I just keep on skating. And in my mind, in that current moment, I thought when he was flapping his hands like that, and I didn't know any better before anybody says anything at home, I thought while he was flapping his arms like that he was doing that and was flying through the air to make himself go a little bit further through the level. That's what I thought. So I said, oh, if I can get more speed, I bet you I can fly through this whole entire level. So each time I would go back to that first part for Las Vegas, every time I would find that lip, I would try to go up it faster and faster. First time when I hit it, 50 miles per hour. Second time when I hit it, just around 63, 65. I got a little bit more distance, flapped my hands around like if I was a bird, and I was doing alright. But the second I ended up finding one of the power-ups during the game known as the speed power-up to try to race my way through there faster, and just said, see ya, I would say, see ya, when he said see ya, and flew down that road going at least, I have to say about a good 80, 90 miles per hour, skating as fast as I could, ducked my legs down, and jumped into the air the second I hit that lip on the street, and I just kept hitting a whole bunch of random buttons saying, oh, maybe that'll make him fly faster. Next thing I know, this guy would do a 540 spin, grab his legs, hold the pose, and then land on the top of a lady's head, bounce, jump through the air, fly through the air like a bird and it hit a street post line going pooh. And it wasn't one of those normal hits, folks, because usually when you hit something in 2Xtreme, you would fall to the ground, you would stop right there in that one motion, but this mother flew through the air and kept going. He was in flight, still in the air while the speed was decreasing, and I would slide all the way toward one of the point systems where it would say 500. And I kid you not, after I got back up and I thought I was in last place, apparently during that whole trick where I was flying through the air like some form of bird, everybody was still behind me. I would be able to still get up on my feet, race toward the finish line, and finish the race off in first place. And after I crossed that line, shocked and amazed that I held my lead after doing that insane trick, I would wonder where were all the other racers, and it would take another 3 seconds for all the other racers to show up despite me wiping out like the way I did. And for me to get a high score of well over 9,000 points during that race, and most of the points coming from that trick. Well over 1,300 of it, which was nuts. And after pulling off that incredible trick, I waited until my brother got home and tried to pull it off in front of him. And let's just say I didn't get the same results, because once I went airborne and tried to do that spin, I would hit directly into one of the street poles, fall right from grace on a dime, instead of flying out like I did before and just land right there where I hit the pole, for my brother to say, I knew you couldn't pull that off, for him to just go back outside and play basketball. For me to realize that trick that I performed was a once-in-a-lifetime trick that I probably would never be able to perform again in all of my life. And with that said, folks, wraps it up for another Inline Airborne Viva Lost Gravity edition of the DJ Smokey's True Video Game Stories. And with that, we'll be back with more right after this. So stay tuned.